Life is full of problems. That's not a surprise. It's part of the deal. Sometimes they're small. A delay, a missed opportunity, a bad day. Sometimes they're big. A business that fails, a relationship that breaks, a dream that gets crushed. But here's the key. It's not the problem that defines you. It's what you do next. Some people see problems and freeze. Others see problems and start building solutions. Now let me tell you something I've learned over the years. Problems are not stop signs. They are guidelines. They're messages. They're nudges. They say something needs to change. And more often than not, that something is you. I used to think success was about avoiding problems, but that's wrong. Success is about learning how to face problems head on with clarity and creativity. And here's the truth. Every problem contains the seed of a solution, but you have to be willing to look for it. You've got to stop staring at the wall and start searching for the door. You've got to stop replaying what went wrong and start designing what could go right. Now, some people say, Jim, I've got too many problems. I can't focus. And I say, no, you've got too many problems because you won't focus on the solution. You see, your mind is like a spotlight. Whatever you shine it on, that's what grows. Shine it on the problem, the fear grows. The stress grows. The confusion grows. But shift that spotlight, point it at the solution, and suddenly the path becomes clearer. You begin to see options. You start to feel strong again. The solution mindset is a muscle, and the more you train it, the more powerful it becomes. Now, in this message, we're going to take a journey together. 5 parts. Each one designed to help you shift your perspective from problem-focused to solution-driven. Because when you master that shift, you become unstoppable. So let me remind you, don't waste another minute talking about what's wrong. Start planning what could be right. Don't complain about the weeds. Start pulling them. And don't ask life to be easier. Ask yourself to be better. The problem is not the problem. The real challenge is your thinking. So let's upgrade it. Let's elevate your focus. Let's become solution seekers. Because that's where growth lives. That's where peace lives. And that's where success begins. Let me tell you what I've learned over the years. Problems are not the problem. It's how you see them. Your perspective, your lens, determines everything. 2 people can look at the same challenge and see 2 very different things. One sees a wall. The other sees a ladder. One says, this is where it ends. The other says, this is where I grow. You see, it's not what happens to you that shapes your life. It's what you do about it and what you think about it. What happens to us all. That's what I tell people. The sun shines on everyone. The rain falls on everyone. Trouble comes to the rich and the poor, the prepared and the unprepared. But success, that only comes to those who know how to respond. Let me say it like this. The same wind blows on us all, but it's the set of your sail that determines your destination. You don't control the wind. You don't control the storm. You control the sail. And your perspective is that sail. Now, most people don't realize this. They spend all their energy fighting the wind. They say, if only I didn't have this problem. If only life were easier. If only things were different. And they miss the real opportunity. Because here's the truth. Problems are not stop signs. They're signposts. They're reminders that something needs to change. Your habits, your thinking, your strategy. Not all problems are there to destroy you. Some are there to develop you. The problem is not that the challenge exists. The problem is that you keep seeing it through the wrong lens. Let me give you an example. 2 people lose their job. One says, this is the worst thing that ever happened to me. And they collapse. They give up. They blame the company, the economy, their luck. But the other says, maybe this is my chance. Maybe this is the push I needed. And they rise. They start learning. They make new connections. They build something better. Same problem, different lens. And that lens changes everything. So how do you change your lens? Start by asking better questions. Most people ask, why is this happening to me? But I encourage you to ask, what is this trying to teach me? How can I grow from this? What's the opportunity here? Because every problem carries with it two gifts, a lesson and a chance to rise. But you won't see either one unless you look for them. Here's something else. Don't exaggerate the problem. People love to turn small things into mountains. They say, this always happens to me. I can never catch a break. This is just my luck. Don't let minor things mess up your major goals. Don't major in minor things. Now, I'm not saying ignore your problems. No, acknowledge them, but face them with wisdom, with calm, with a solution mindset. You know what separates the amateur from the pro? The amateur reacts. The pro reflects. The amateur says, this is the end. The pro says, this is a bend in the road, not the end of the road. So here's your challenge today. Take one problem just done and change the lens. Instead of asking, why me? Ask, what next? Instead of saying, this is too much, say, I'm stronger than I thought. Instead of focusing on what's broken, start focusing on what you can build. Because your mind is powerful. It's a tool. And the direction you point it in will determine the course of your life. Every problem is a teacher. Every setback is a setup. Every difficulty is a doorway if you have the right lens to see it. Don't wait for the problem to go away. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more wisdom. Wish for better perspective. Wish for the ability to look at life and say, I've got this, I can handle it, I'll find the way. Because that's the moment you take back your power. And from that moment forward, you're no longer problem-focused. You're solution-minded. And that changes everything. You can't change the seasons, but you can change yourself. Life is like a garden. It doesn't just grow what you want. It grows what you plant. And more than that, it grows what you prepare for. Now, here's something most people do wrong. They keep cursing the dirt, but they never take the time to till the soil. They say, why is my life like this? Why does nothing grow for me? Why don't I have the success I want? And I say, stop cursing the dirt. Start preparing the ground. Because the dirt isn't the problem. The soil doesn't choose the seed. You do. If you plant weeds, you don't get flowers. If you plant complaints, you don't get progress. If you plant procrastination, distraction, excuses, well, don't be surprised when the harvest comes up empty. Let's talk honestly here. Most people want a harvest they haven't prepared for. They want success without the struggle. They want reward without the routine. They want fruit without tending the roots. But that's not how life works. Life responds to deserve, not to need. And if you want a better life, you've got to get your hands in the dirt. You've got to cultivate. Because success is not an accident. It's something you grow. And growth takes effort. Effort that most people skip because they're too busy blaming the ground. Now here's what I tell people. Don't curse the dirt. Improve your tools. Don't complain about the rain. Learn how to work in the rain. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Because they don't exist. Too many people are waiting for the perfect job, waiting for the right time, waiting until the stars align. But let me remind you, the people who win in life aren't the ones who wait for the weather. They're the ones who know how to sow seed 7 in the storm. So how do you prepare the soil? Let me give you a few simple truths. 1. Prepare your mind. Your thoughts are seeds. If you plant doubt, fear, and worry, that's what grows. But if you plant vision, belief, and discipline, that becomes your harvest. So feed your mind daily. Read. Listen to something good. Surround yourself with thinkers, builders, growers. Because you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if the people around you are constantly cursing the dirt, you'll never rise above the weeds. 2. Prepare your habits. The soil won't reward you for showing up once. You've got to return again and again. That's what discipline is. It's the habit of showing up heaven when the results haven't yet appeared. So don't say, I've tried. Say, I'm training. Every day you prepare the soil. You're investing in the harvest. So get consistent. Get committed. Start small, but stay steady. Because it's not intensity that builds a harvest. It's consistency. 3, prepare your character. What you build externally will only last if you've built internally. Some people build fast, but fall just as fast because their roots were shallow. So take the time to grow strong beneath the surface. Be honest. Be reliable. Keep your word. Finish what you start. Because life doesn't just reward results. It rewards integrity. And strong roots build strong fruit. Now let me say this plainly. Life is always watching, listening, recording. And the soil of life has one rule. You will reap what you sow. Not what you talk about. Not what you dream about. What you do. And the good news is, if you don't like what's growing in your life, you can start planting something new today. That's the beauty of life. You don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to live with a field full of regrets. You just have to be willing to stop blaming the ground and start preparing it. Don't curse the dirt. Cultivate it. Don't resent the work. Respect it. Don't fear the slow growth. Trust it, because the harvest will come. Not all at once, but inch by inch, root by root, season by season. Prepare the soil. Plant the right seed. Stay consistent. Stay faithful. And one day you'll look out and what you once dreamed will be blooming before your eyes. But it started here, in the dirt, with your hands, and with your decision to stop complaining and start cultivating. Let me start with this simple truth. What you look for, you will find. That's the way the mind works. It's a powerful filter. If you spend your days searching for problems, if your thoughts are filled with obstacles and excuses, guess what? Your mind will serve you exactly that. You'll see problems everywhere. You'll feel stuck and overwhelmed, and your energy will drain fast. But if you train your mind to look for solutions, to seek opportunities, no matter how small, you will find those solutions. Your mind will open. Your heart will open. And new possibilities will reveal themselves. Now, this isn't some magic trick. It's not wishful thinking. It's about training your focus, about choosing where you point your attention. Think about a spotlight on a dark stage. Wherever you shine the light, that's what appears. If you focus on the mess, you only see the mess. But if you focus on the exit door, suddenly the way out becomes visible. You control that spotlight. And the more you practice shining it on solutions, the easier it becomes, the more natural it feels. But here's the challenge. Your mind doesn't do this on its own. It needs to be trained, like a muscle. You wouldn't expect to walk into a gym for the first time and lift 200 pounds. No, you start with small weights. You practice your form. You build strength over time. The same is true with your mind. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become a solution seeker. You have to train yourself. So how do you train your mind? Let me give you some steps that I have found helpful over the years. 1. Practice awareness. Start by noticing where your mind goes. When a problem arises, what's your first thought? Do you dwell on what's wrong? Do you blame others? Do you feel helpless? Or do you ask, what can I do about this? What's the next step? Begin to catch your thoughts. Be aware of the patterns. Because the first step to change is awareness. 2. Ask better questions. Questions are powerful. They shape your focus and your emotions. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, how can I use this? What can I learn? What is one small thing I can do right now? Better questions lead to better answers. Better answers lead to better actions. Don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let it lead to action. 3. Visualize the solution. Your mind responds to images. If you constantly picture the problem, your brain gets stuck in that loop. But if you start imagining the solution, imagining yourself succeeding, your mind begins to find the way. Visualization is a powerful tool. It's not just daydreaming. It's rehearsing success. And when you rehearse success, you're more likely to act confidently when the moment comes. 4. Surround yourself with solution-minded people. You become the average of the people you spend time with. If you surround yourself with complainers and critics, you'll find yourself complaining more. But if you choose to spend time with people who focus on solutions, who build and create, you'll find yourself adopting those habits. Remember, you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. Choose your company wisely. 5. Take action, no matter how small. Solutions don't always come wrapped in big ideas. Sometimes they come in small steps. Don't wait to have the perfect plan. Start with what you have. Start with what you know. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates clarity. And clarity reveals more solutions. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Take disciplined action, even small, and watch how the path unfolds. Now, let me be honest with you. Training your mind to see solutions isn't always easy. Your brain loves the familiar. It loves the comfort of complaining. It loves the drama of problems. But it doesn't serve you. It keeps you stuck. You have to choose the hard path. The path of focus. The path of optimism. The path of solutions. And I promise you this, when you do, your life will begin to change. Your problems won't disappear overnight, but your ability to handle them will grow beyond what you imagined. So today, make a commitment. Catch your negative thoughts. Shift your focus. Ask better questions. Visualize success. Surround yourself with builders. Take action, no matter how small, because what you look for, you will find. And if you train your mind to see solutions, there is nothing you cannot overcome. Action, it is the great equalizer, the invisible force that transforms dreams into reality, the ingredient that separates talkers from doers. You see, thinking about solutions, talking about solutions, even wishing for solutions is not enough. All the planning and dreaming in the world will not move you forward without action. Action is the engine that powers your progress. Too many people get stuck, paralyzed by fear, overwhelmed by the size of their problems. Lost in the maze of indecision, they wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect feeling. But I want you to hear me loud and clear. The perfect moment is an illusion. It does not exist. If you wait for perfection, you will wait forever. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. It is not the time alone that matters. It is the quality and intention of your action. A single phone call made today might open the door tomorrow. A brief email sent today might spark a connection next week. Reading just a page today might inspire an idea that changes everything. The key is this. Action creates momentum. Momentum breeds confidence. Confidence attracts more action. And the cycle continues. But you have to start the cycle. You have to take that very first step. Now some will say, but Jim, I don't know what to do. Or, I'm scared I'll fail. Or, what if I take the wrong step? And I say to you, that's exactly why you must act. Because action is the best teacher. Action reveals what works and what doesn't. Action builds courage and clarity. Think about those who inspire you most. The people you admire. The successful ones. They weren't born with all the answers. They didn't have a perfect map. They took imperfect action. They made mistakes. They learned. They adjusted. And they kept moving forward. Remember this. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. You might feel small now, but your steps don't have to be big. They just have to be consistent. Planting seeds in a garden is not a one-time event. You don't see results overnight. But if you water them daily, tend the soil, and stay patient, the flowers bloom. So, I want you to ask yourself right now, what small action can I take today? Call that person you've been avoiding. Write down one idea. Spend 10 minutes learning something new. Organize your workspace. Make one commitment. It doesn't matter what the action is, just move. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Discipline isn't about massive effort or intense bursts. It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it. Small steps, when repeated consistently, lead to massive results. For example, imagine this. You walk into a gym. You don't start bench pressing 300 pounds on day one. You start small. You build strength day by day, rep by rep. Eventually, your muscles grow strong. Your stamina increases. You transform. Your life works the same way. Now, it's important to recognize that action isn't always glamorous. It's not always exciting. Sometimes, it's boring and repetitive. But discipline is what carries you through those moments. Discipline is the bridge that connects your goals to your accomplishments. Here's a truth many don't want to hear. You may face setbacks. You may stumble. You may feel discouraged. And that's okay, because every fall is a chance to rise stronger. Every failure is a lesson in disguise. Every delay is an opportunity to prepare. When you fall down, get back up. When you hit a dead end, find another way. When you feel tired, rest but don't quit. Because the journey of action is also a journey of faith. Faith in yourself. Faith in the process. Faith that your efforts will pay off. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. If you don't, you'll find an excuse. The choice is yours. Will you find excuses, or will you find ways? Now, the last thing I want you to understand is this. Action doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need every detail figured out. You don't need the perfect plan. Just start. Move. Take imperfect action. It's better to take a small step in the right direction than to stand still waiting for the perfect one. So, to sum it all up, don't wait for motivation to start moving. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Don't wait for clarity to begin. Clarity grows as you take steps forward. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Perfect plans rarely exist. Just start. Move. Do something you think. Because action is the antidote to fear, doubt, and delay. And with every step you take, you're closer to your solution than you were yesterday. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. We have walked together through perspective, preparation, focus, and action. Now, it's time to make these principles last. Not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. Because life isn't changed by one great idea or a single burst of energy. Life is changed by the habits you form. The small daily decisions that pile up over time. The patterns that repeat again and again, shaping your destiny. Your habits will determine your future. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's what you do consistently. Day after day. Month after month. Year after year. Now, being solution-oriented isn't just about solving one problem here or there. It's a way of life. It's a mindset that becomes part of your character. One that governs how you approach every challenge, every setback, every decision. You don't wake up one day and suddenly become a solution seeker. You become one by choice and by practice. Here's what it takes to build that habit. You don't have to make a huge transformation overnight. In fact, the smaller the change, the more sustainable it is. Each time a problem comes your way, instead of spiraling into frustration, make it your habit to ask, what's the solution here? What can I learn? What's one step I can take right now? Answer these questions daily and watch your thinking change. Habits become automatic when you repeat them consistently. They become part of who you are, like brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. You don't have to think about it, you just do it. Make solution-focused thinking that automatic. Some days your solution may be small, a tiny step. That's okay. Don't let your learning lead to knowledge. Let it lead to action. Small steps taken consistently create progress. And progress fuels motivation. Discipline is the key that locks your habits into place. Without discipline, habits fade. They get pushed aside by distractions, discouragement, and doubt. Discipline is showing up when you don't feel like it. Discipline is choosing to focus on solutions, even when problems seem overwhelming. Discipline bridges the gap between your dreams and your reality. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If you surround yourself with people who complain and focus on problems, you'll find yourself doing the same. But if you surround yourself with people who seek solutions, who build, create, and grow, you'll find yourself lifting up and doing the same. Choose your company wisely. Each time you find a solution, no matter how small, celebrate it. Recognize your progress. Reward your effort. Celebration builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum. Momentum builds success. Now, let me speak honestly. Habits aren't built overnight. There will be days you slip back into old patterns. There will be times when frustration creeps in. You might feel like giving up, but don't. That's normal. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is not perfection, it's persistence. When you stumble, get back up. When you lose focus, gently return to the habit. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself why you started. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. The problems won't disappear, but you will grow stronger. You will become a person who meets challenges head on. You will become a person who sees solutions naturally. Imagine waking up each morning with this mindset. No matter what challenges today brings, I will find a way. I am a problem solver. Every difficulty is an opportunity to grow. This mindset is priceless. It will carry you through storms and setbacks. It will push you higher than you ever dreamed possible. Let me share one last insight. Building the habit of focusing on solutions doesn't just change your external life. It changes your internal life. Your peace of mind, your confidence, your happiness. When you shift from problem-focused to solution-focused, fear loses its grip. Doubt fades away, and a new kind of peace takes root. Because you know you have what it takes. You have the mindset, the habits, the discipline to handle whatever comes your way. So today, start building that habit. Start practicing solution-oriented thinking every day. Make it a non-negotiable part of who you are. And keep at it. Keep showing up. Keep focusing on solutions. Because the future you want is waiting for the person you're becoming. The major value in life is not what you get. The major value in life is what you become. Become a solution-oriented person, and you will become unstoppable. You will become the person who controls their destiny. The person who lives a life full of purpose, power, and peace. As we come to the close of this journey together, I want you to remember one simple truth. The power to change your life is in your hands. You can't control every circumstance. You can't control every challenge. But you can control how you respond. You can choose to focus on solutions. You can choose to take action no matter how small. You can build habits that lead to lasting success. Remember, life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. The problems you face today, they are not barriers. They are stepping stones, opportunities in disguise. And every small step you take, every habit you build, every solution you find is another brick in the foundation of your success. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Start right now. Look at your life through the lens of possibility. Prepare your soil with patience and persistence. Train your mind to seek solutions. Take consistent action. Build the habits that will carry you forward no matter what. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. Bring your value today. Bring your best. And watch your life transform. The clock is ticking. The moment is now. Your future is waiting. Go forth with confidence. Go forth with courage. And keep moving forward because you are closer than you think. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to grow. The journey is yours. Make it extraordinary.